Believe me when I say no one saw this coming. Something is shifting in West Africa, and it's bigger than just military coups. From mining fields to currency reforms, from TikTok rants to shadow armies, a quiet rebellion is underway, a revolution erupting beneath the surface. Presidents are falling, alliances are collapsing, and in the shadows, unseen forces, foreign powers, rogue militaries, digital warriors, and forgotten youth are rewriting the fate of a region once shackled by colonial chains. Three nations, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, have walked away from old alliances, rejected colonial-era systems, and are now forming a bold new bloc, the Alliance of Sahel States. But who's really pulling the strings behind this uprising? Is this a genuine push for sovereignty, or just a new empire wearing a different mask? The main question is, who's really in control? Stay with us till the end, because what you're about to hear is hidden from the normal headlines, and we are going to list out 7 different forces inflicting or igniting this change in West Africa. Let's get started. We are going to list out some key factors driving change in West Africa. 1. Foreign powers. Behind the curtain. Picture this. A blazing sun scorches the earth above a gold mine in northern Burkina Faso. Local miners, sweat-soaked and weary, chip away at the earth beneath their feet, but the real treasure? It leaves on planes they'll never board. Overseeing it all is a man with a Russian flag stitched on his arm, and he doesn't speak the local language, but his presence speaks volumes. This isn't just a gold mine, it's a microcosm of the new scramble for West Africa. A quiet takeover not by colonists in uniforms, but by contractors in suits and camouflage. Western powers, long the dominant force in the region, are retreating, not with shame, but with strategy. Into the vacuum step new global contenders. Russia is exporting security services in exchange for resources. The Wagner Group, or what's left of it, provides protection for regimes born from coups and gains influence buried in gold, uranium, and loyalty. China arrives with concrete and cranes, not tanks. Through massive infrastructure deals and telecommunications projects, Beijing is tying the future of entire nations to its industrial belt. Turkey and Gulf states are embedding themselves through religion, education, and commerce. They build mosques, fund schools, buy land, and gain soft power without firing a shot. In this reshuffling of power, the people often remain voiceless, ruled by new patrons under the same old weight. 2. On our list is the fall of ECOWAS and rise of the Sahel bloc. Now shift scenes to Niamey, Niger, a modest government hall packed with cameras. Leaders from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger gather to sign a bold declaration. Behind them, a map with a different vision. No Nigeria at the helm, no ECOWAS umbrella. For years, ECOWAS was the dream of regional integration. But to many in the Sahel, that dream turned sour. Sanctions punished nations, not leaders. Foreign interests, especially France's, were seen as steering ECOWAS decisions. So these nations left, not just politically, ideologically. The Alliance of Sahel States was born not as a coalition, but as a rebellion, a rejection of old loyalties. Yet behind the flags and fiery speeches lies a question: are they truly free, or simply shifting from one sphere of influence to another? This is decolonization 2.0. But the journey to true autonomy has only just begun. Well, just in case you don't know what caused or led to the exit of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from Mali, or haven't seen the video, I will drop a link in the description of this video so that you can check that out. Now let's get back to action. The third point we have is the silent war over West Africa's resources. This is literally the main point of focus, because heart of the conflict isn't found in parliaments. It's buried underground. Gold, lithium, oil, uranium, the minerals beneath the Sahel are more valuable than any constitution. And where there are riches, there are rivalries. At the center of it all is a shadowy force. JNIM, a branch of Al-Qaeda. With more than 6,000 hardened fighters, they've transformed the Sahel into a corridor of control, stretching from the deserts of Mali to the forests of Benin. Their strategy isn't chaos, it's quiet domination. They tax traders, smuggle gold, raid cattle, and kidnap for ransom. In many regions, they offer a chilling kind of order. Obey the rules, and they'll let life continue. Resist and disappear. But JNIM isn't the only player in this silent war. As Western powers like France and the United States retreat, a new giant steps in: Russia. With the rebranded Africa Corps, successors of the infamous Wagner Group, Russia has flooded the region with tanks, drones, and artillery. In return, they gain something far more valuable than influence: mining concessions, especially for gold. China and Russia jostle for access while Western firms maneuver to stay relevant. The battlefield might be the desert, but the real war is fought on balance sheets and licensing agreements. When soldiers march in the streets, it's often about control of what lies beneath them. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, all now heavily backed by Moscow. These military-led governments, bound by a pact known as the Alliance of Sahel States, have turned their backs on ECOWAS, the West African bloc that once symbolized unity. ECOWAS, now marking its 50th anniversary, is fractured. 3 of its members have already walked out. Jihadist attacks have surged. Coups have become contagious. The very ideals ECOWAS stood for, democracy, cooperation, peace, now feel like relics of another age. One man has become the face of this shift: Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Just 37 years old, he seized power in Burkina Faso and quickly aligned himself with Russia. On paper, he's a revolutionary. In reality, his country is bleeding. Over 7,200 people have been killed under his watch. More than 60% of the country is now outside government control. And yet, many still cheer him for standing up to the West, for speaking the language of independence, for promising a future carved from Burkina soil. This war is not loud. It has no front lines. It moves through dusty trade roads and forgotten villages. It flows in gold dust and barrels of stolen fuel. It hides in the contracts signed in dimly lit rooms where mining rights are swapped for guns. The foreign mercenaries reap the earth. The militants reap the fear. And the people of West Africa, they remain trapped in a game where their land is the prize, but never the players. Yet hope flickers. The struggle for West Africa's resources isn't just about power, it's about survival. The question is, who will write the final chapter? Number 4, we have digital awakening of the youth. This is the front line of a new revolution. Digital, decentralized, defiant. Young Africans are reclaiming the narrative. Through memes, live streams, and commentary, they expose hypocrisy, demand justice, and mock corrupt elites. They're not waiting for newspapers or presidents. They're shaping the future from their phones. Governments have tried censorship, but ideas travel faster than repression. And the youth, they're just getting started. Let us take a short, clear example with what happened in Mali. Title: 15 Seconds of Resistance. In the heart of Bamako, inside a dimly lit room, 19-year-old Yusuf props his cracked phone against a tomato can. The screen glows. He hits record. He said, "France says it's helping us, but all we see are our minds stolen, our people suffering. We don't want help with chains." 15 seconds. No fancy edits, just raw truth in Bambara and French. He hits post on TikTok. By midnight, the video explodes. Thousands watch, hundreds comment. He speaks for all of us. Tags France dégage trends in Mali. By morning, his words spill onto the streets. In front of the French embassy, youths gather, waving handmade signs, beating drums, shouting Yusuf's exact words. It's not just a protest, it's a movement. From Gao to K's, TikTok becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a weapon, short clips of truth stitched together with anger, history, and hope. While foreign diplomats argue policies behind closed doors, Mali's youth tap record. They don't need permission, just a signal and 15 seconds. And slowly the world begins to listen. And that was just it. Social media is one of the factors driving change in West Africa. Next is the economic rebellion, ending the CFA Franc. To better understand this, we made a video about the Sahel Bank and their ultimate plans to have a common currency. Check out the video at the description. But for this video, we're going to point out some important facts. A military leader steps to the podium. Behind him, the AES flag ripples in the wind. "We will no longer be chained to a currency born in colonialism," he declares. Cheers erupt. The CFA franc has long been tied to France's treasury. While it offers stability, it has also been a symbol of lingering control. Now, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are considering their own currency, an audacious move that could change everything. This isn't just about inflation or exchange rates. It's about sovereignty, about finally owning the right to print, spend, and save on their own terms. But the road to monetary freedom is steep, and the old guard won't let go quietly. So do you think this will work? Number 6, we have the role of shadow forces and private armies. Night falls over the Sahel. A convoy cuts through the desert, not soldiers, but armed men with no flag. They guard crates of gold like shadows guarding secrets. Private military contractors are now central players. Wagner, Gulf-backed militias, independent mercenaries. They operate across borders, answer to wealth, not constitutions. From Libya's weapon caches to Sahel's front lines, arms flow unchecked. Governments no longer hold the monopoly on violence. That power is now rented. And when violence is for sale, so is sovereignty. But shadow armies make enemies. In June 2025, rebels ambushed a Russian convoy in northern Mali, killing several fighters. Locals say they were warned to stay silent, but whispers spread fast in a land that knows the scent of blood. Tuareg separatists, Al-Qaeda-linked militants, even everyday villagers all know the game has changed. It's not just jihadists versus soldiers anymore, it's foreign mercenaries versus everyone else. In Burkina Faso, mining sites once owned by locals now sit under Russian protection. Soldiers patrol the perimeters, not for national security, but to safeguard the profits. And behind every rifle is a contract, guns traded for ground. Private military companies, not just Russian ones, have exploded across Africa in the last decade. Some offer training, others full-blown combat support. Their loyalty lies not with people, but with payment. And as these ghost armies grow, so does the silence around them. No laws, no transparency, no accountability, only consequences. Civilians are caught in the middle, bombed by extremists one day, harassed by private soldiers the next. In many regions, it's no longer clear who is in charge, only that someone with a gun is. The war is no longer between nations, it's between those who own the land and those who sold it. Our last point is the real reason for the coups. It is important to talk about this when listing out unseen forces driving change in West Africa. Due to the failed democratic government in West Africa, not just in theory, but also in delivery, corruption, poverty, foreign meddling, elections brought little change. So when the soldiers arrived, they weren't seen as threats. They were seen as answers, temporary ones maybe, but answers nonetheless. Military takes is fueled by insecurity, broken promises, and popular disillusionment. The military steps forward. In Mali 2020-2021, Burkina Faso 2022, Guinea 2021, Niger 2023, and Gabon 2023, all broken democracies were briefly seized by soldiers wielding weapons for change. And one major question is why coups keep happening. 1. Security vacuum. Islamist insurgencies make civilians crave protection. Number 2, failed governance. Rampant corruption, economic inequality, and broken promises erode democratic faith. 3, foreign interference. Post-colonial power dynamics and new alignments spark nationalist backlash. 4, civilian support. Many citizens welcomed coups, seeing them as corrective measures. West African coups aren't random power grabs. They're symptoms of deep-rooted crises, collapsing security, broken governance, foreign interference, and frustrated populations. The military, perceived as the best protector, often fills the void. Whether it leads to stability or more turmoil remains the next chapter in the region's story. The real question isn't why coups happened. It's, why did people stop believing in democracy? Final thought, West Africa is shifting. Beneath the headlines are deeper currents, silent, powerful, and far from over. What happens next will not be decided only in Abuja or Bamako, but in Moscow, Beijing, TikTok feeds, and the unspoken dreams of a rising generation. The revolution is quiet, but it is very, very real. This leads us to this question. Are the forces driving change in West Africa's political landscape a better idea against corruption, terrorism, and discrimination, or just a wider trap? Let us hear your thoughts on this matter, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel as we look forward to seeing you on our next video.